it.
Do you want to start? Shall I start? Even though we're drinking tea, we relax.
Well, yeah, we would have finished the conversation by the time we drink the cocktail, wasn't it? Start it, go on, just start anyway.
Today, we're back with Phil Leach, and Phil Leach is going to tell his story, because you've been driving a cab for how long now, Phil?
I haven't been driving a cab at all. I should have been driving about 8 years ago.
Yes, well, in your dreams. Thank you for supporting our channel. Thank you for supporting Wizan. Please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell for any future videos.
According to you, when I first come down to Gillinder Street, when I first met you about 10 years ago, you told me it'd take me 2 years. So, in theory...
What I meant was, when you get your rec, it will take you 2 years to get your badge.
Yeah, that's what it's looking. That's
now.
what it's looking like. Yeah, it is looking in that direction.
Oh dear. So you got your rec, Phil. Let's just tell people your story. So you got your rec on what date?
July,
mid-July. So let's just point out that we're actually now filming in December.
Yeah.
So it's mid-July. You got your rec. So that's shocking in itself. And you haven't yet been given your badge.
No.
So do you want to tell us why that is?
I haven't even done the suburbs as such. I haven't, I'm calling them every day, but I haven't actually had that part of the appearance.
You haven't had the suburban test.
No, I haven't had that done. So it all started off when I finished in July. You get the information pack sent to your door, and then that started the problem off. The information pack, there was loads of spelling mistakes on the form that TfL sent me.
From the
TfL.
form they sent you's got spelling mistakes that they've done.
Yeah, and the form doesn't make any sense.
Well,
so
you have got dyslexia? Or?
I have, but I'll give it to my daughter. She's got a PhD in whatever. So she's the one with all the brains in the family. Yeah. So I give it to my daughter to fill in anyway. And I did actually email you at one time regarding some of the questions, but you didn't know yourself.
Yeah.
So the situation is that obviously when you get the information pack, you have to do your medical. So I went to the doctors. They said I need to have the eye test done first. Doctor can't do it no more. It has to be done by an optician. Went to the opticians, had that done. I waited 2 weeks for that or something, or another 2 weeks. And then I went back to the GP. I had to wait another 2 weeks to see the GP. Had the medical done. She filled in all that. But what she done, I don't know whether it was correct or right or wrong, but she's gone back through my medical history about 30 years. Yeah, and started writing stuff 30 years ago that's on my medical record. Why she done that, I don't know, but that's what happened.
So you think your GP's made a mistake?
I don't know. I don't know what they're asking for. I don't know the system of the medical.
They're asking for your current health, David.
Yeah,
that's what
are you still being treated?
Like 5 years.
Are you being treated for something from 30 years ago?
No.
So this is all spent.
All irrelevant. But I thought to myself, I'm not going to question the doctor, because if she writes a load of stuff on the form that is irrelevant, TfL would just ignore that, surely. That's what I thought. So I thought I'll just go along with what the doctor's doing. She wrote the medical out, and I had the medical, which was nothing to it. Once I applied for the DBS, they give you a ID number so that you can log in and check your progress along the way. So I had an ID number for that. And then when I went to the TfL form to fill the TfL form in, they was asking for certificate reference number. I've looked at the DBS and there's no certificate reference number. When I've looked at all the IDs that you create doing this online, I had an ID reference number, and I had some other passwords or whatever, but I never had no certificate number. So then I was thinking, what do we put in there? So my daughter said, well, we can't go no further. Emailed TfL, no reply back. 2 weeks later, no reply. So emailed them again, still no reply back. So I thought, let's check the email, make sure I'm doing. So then I found two email addresses for TfL, one for their medical side of the TfL, and one for the knowledge side of it. So the email addresses were slightly different. Mm. So I emailed both of them with the information that I was asking about this reference number to go in the box in their form, so I can complete their form and send it back. Still no reply. So I thought, sod this, they're not going to reply. So anyway, I phones up the MP. So I thought, that's the way, I'm going to go down that route. I ain't messing about with them no more. If they don't want to reply back to me, as far as I'm concerned, they're just ignoring me. They've got
Isn't
the
that a
email.
bit extreme? If maybe you still might be sending it to the wrong place, not the right person, might not be getting through.
But that's the emails I had on the forms
Right,
to
just
send it to.
for information's sake, they told us if you send anything to tphinquiries@tfl.gov.uk, they will filter it to the right department.
Yeah, that's what should happen. So anyway, so what happened was I got in touch with the MP. Next day he phones me up. He goes, the number you want is the number on the DBS, top of the right hand number. That's the one you got to put in the form.
He found that out for you.
He found that out for me. So he said to me, it's actually a DBS certificate number. So I said, well, it doesn't say that on TFL form. They're asking for a DBS ID or something. So I'm confused now of why they haven't even got that.
Admin error where they've labelled it as a different name of what they're
demanding. Yeah, and bearing in mind, on the TFL form, you pay £250 for when you finish the knowledge to get the pack, and then you got to fill that in. And it says on there before you even send it back, if there's an error on the form, you will be recharged because it'll be dismissed. That was the start of me being delayed.
Yeah, that's still not a delay technically, is it? Because you could do the suburb appearance and get your badge and...
Yeah, well, if they offered me the suburb appearance, but they won't offer you the suburb appearance until they get all their forms and letters back and accept you. So I still haven't done this suburbs. I still haven't had a phone call to do that. So I'm still calling me.
Yeah.
Me runs
so months wise, you are July. You said, yeah.
Yeah. So
you're 5 months.
5 months down the line.
Without the badge.
Without the badge. So then.
Can I just say, sorry, how long did it take you to do the knowledge?
I can't remember, it was 8 years or
right, so
that sort of time.
8 years doing the knowledge, and now having to wait 5 months further to be handed the badge for the knowledge that you've completed.
The situation is there's an argument between TFL and my GP and the surgeons that's operated on me. So during the knowledge, about 2 years before I finished the knowledge, my mum became terminally ill with cancer, and I did notify TFL because I was having problems of turning up my appearances if like she was ill that day, the day before, because we kept her at home, didn't put her into a hospice, so I kept her at home, so I was doing most of the caring at home. Mm-hmm. So the situation was if my mum was ill that day, I wasn't going to turn up for the appearance. So I made TFL fully. I didn't lie to them. I just told them the truth, that this was the situation, and basically I might have to cancel appearances at the last minute. But then I started getting penalised for that from TFL. The situation was the day my mum passed away, it was, and the funeral was set for the whatever date it was. That appeared to come on the same day as an appearance. So what I did is I phoned up TFL. No, actually I emailed TFL. I emailed TFL and told them that I can't make that appearance because my mum's funeral was on that day. So I got another letter back stating that in 10 days you are expected to have this appearance. They give me a new date. So I went there. Bearing in mind they knew that my mother died of cancer, they asked me 2 hospices, 6 cemeteries and 2 hospitals on the same day. So we just say one of the examiners asked me that, but all the examiners knew that the situation I was going through. Because
you're 100% confident that was a conscious decision to ask you those questions?
Yeah, because what happened was prior to that, which I did mention in another previous podcast, is that when I told them that my mum was terminally ill with cancer, they started asking me these questions during appearances. It was like hospice to hospice, cemetery to hospice. And I thought, this is a bit strange because I wasn't asked these questions before my mum got ill, before I phoned up. But now all of a sudden I'm asked, I mean, there's always thousands of points they can ask, but now I'm constantly being asked hospice and, cemeteries and hospitals. So I thought, no, at the last one though, when my mum actually passed away and I did have that appearance with one of the examiners and they asked all them questions on the same day, it was like eight questions, and it was all to do with cemeteries, hospice or hospitals. I thought, no, you're just digging me out now. And I was going to walk out at that stage. I was going to get up out of the appearance room and walk out because I started feeling like down and stuff. It started getting to me. So then, so after that, I actually made a complaint. And I did mention at the TFL right at the start when I first made the complaint. I went to see Katie Chennels and Mr. Whitehead. And I explained to them what was happening, and they was quite shocked as well. To be fair, they said it shouldn't have happened. TFL was fully aware that I wrote in, and these questions shouldn't have been asked. Things did improve after that. Katie Chills and Mr. Whitehead said they would make sure that, you know, things would progress from here. So anyway, yeah, I stuck at the knowledge and started making progress, but it was like up and down. One minute I start making progress, then it sort of like goes straight downhill again for some reason. Just
yeah, but that's your journey through the knowledge. You've done the knowledge, Phil. You've done it. The knowledge is over, and now you need a badge and start work.
Yeah, that's the problem, and obviously there was other problems with examiners. One of them started swearing at me and stuff in the examining room. Then I made another complaint about that. When I see Mr. Whitehead again, that was sorted out.
Well, this kind of thing, this era has ended because they're going to be recording the appearances. So
hopefully that's going to be ending now. Yeah, but so that's what happened during the knowledge, and then it just seems to have continued after the knowledge, because when my medical file went back to TFL and all the paperwork, the DBS medical file and everything else that, you know, the information pack that we filled in went back, then they wrote a letter back saying they wanted me to have a brain scan, heart stress scan, an ECG, a treadmill test, and they brought up about my son's death again. They wanted to know whether my son, who died in 1995, whether it's going to affect my ability to drive. Now, that's what's really upset me.
Outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah. I think
you sent me the document that they sent you. They requested 38 pages of information that they sent to you, asking questions on your medical history to be understood more by them so that they can make a decision. Yeah. And on the treadmill test, something simple, that's got to be a cardio test. That's a heart test of some sort. That's nothing to do with your ability to walk and talk.
No, but there's no need for it. This is the argument between me, TFL, and my GP. So,
what are the grounds then for you presuming that you got a bad heart?
Right. So when 2 days after my mum was diagnosed with terminally ill cancer, basically I had an heart attack. So I said, all right. So I went to A&E. This was at Newham. Went to A&E and they was expecting me. So I went in there. They done blood pressure, done an ECG, blood test and all the rest of it. He goes, no, there's nothing wrong with you. And at that, if I didn't take me, at the time I was with my ex-girlfriend, because we just was up there, hospital visiting my mum. She works for the NHS as well, right? So if I didn't take her, she would never have believed me. And she would tell you, she would never believe what happened that day, because we went into there and I was just like this. So, you know, I was in a tracksuit, but I was just as normal as this. And I said to the guy, I'm having a heart attack. And the doctor laughed at me. He goes, you're definitely not having a heart attack. I said, I definitely am. So he goes, what was it? He goes, I noticed on your file that you got a lot of metal in your back. He goes, the pain's coming from your back. I said, no. I said, I've had back history problems since I was early 20s. I said, this is not the same pain. I said, this is in the front of my chest. He's gone, nah. He goes, it's definitely something to do with your back. And he's looked at me and I've got like, the tight stocking legging things on. So I've just come from the gym. So I've got them things on. So he's looked at me, he's gone, have you been to the gym? I said, yeah, I've just come from the gym. He goes, you pulled a muscle. So I said, no, I've definitely not pulled a muscle. I'm telling you, I've had an heart. I said, if I pulled a muscle, it'd be hurting now. I said, if I go for a run and come back, it'd be hurting. So I said, I'm having a heart attack, or something's wrong with the heart somewhere along the line. No. So we almost ended up having a row with him. And then what happened was we had another blood test done, because first blood test come back normal. So we've already been in there 5 hours waiting for this blood test to come back, because you've got to wait a certain amount of time before you get the test back. So now we're there 10 hours. So after about 8 hours, my ex-girlfriend goes like, yeah, I'm going home because I've got hospital in the morning. There's nothing wrong with you. She said to me, I don't think there's nothing wrong with you. So I said, yeah, no problem. So anyway, I stayed there. And then the doctor came out. He goes, you may as well go home. And what I'll do is I'll phone you if there's a problem. But with the blood test is taking longer than normal. And it's likely you're going to be here another few hours. So you might as well go home. So I said, yeah, no problem. So anyway, I went to the car park. Went to get in my car, and two security come running out. He goes, Mr. Leach. I said, yeah. He goes, you can't go home. I said, yeah, I've just been told to go home. So he goes, no, you can't. He goes, you're having a heart attack right now. Well, that's what he said, right now. So I said, well, I knew that 3-4 days ago. I said, I knew I was having a heart problem, like at the beginning of the week when I first felt this pain. But he goes, no, you're having a heart attack right now. So I said, well, yeah, I just told the doctor that, but he don't believe me. at that stage I was super fit, so there was no reason for this heart attack, and they just put it down to stress. There was no other reason why I had this heart attack apart from stress. And at that time, the only stress I had was the stress from my mother passing away and the stress from TFL, from doing the knowledge.
Sounds a bit far-fetched, stress.
Yeah, but that's what he put it down
stress
to.
is a big thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, yes, it is a huge thing, but is it big enough to?
Yes, definitely. 100%. You can do it
Well,
with some stress.
the cardiologist who actually done my surgery, he's wrote a book, and I've actually got the book indoors. It's about
stress test, it's called.
A statin-free life.
Don't take statins.
Statin-free life, it's called, because the guy who done me surgery, he was the one that, I mean, you can look him up on YouTube, he's well known. He's the one who went against the government regarding the coronavirus jabs when all the heart attacks started happening. Mm-hmm. So he's well known on YouTube or whatever, you can look him up. But yeah, he basically he was puzzled himself, and he just put it down to stress. But in his book, it actually mentions that when they done some research into people with heart disease, it's not all to do with food as they first thought. Actually, stress plays a big part in people who's going to get heart disease. Yeah. So
you need to add, you was a boxer, I know.
Yeah.
So you never went professional, you was an amateur boxer.
I actually applied the term professional, but I never boxed professional. So what happened was I've been boxing since about 10. I started martial arts when I was about 8. I already hold 2 black belts in 2 different styles of martial arts, and I boxed for about 20 odd years. Yeah. But due to that boxing, the reason why they've asked for this scan on my head is they want to know whether I've got any brain damage. Mm-hmm. So
as a result of the boxing,
I can only imagine that. Yeah, I can't work out why they would ask for why I've got any brain damage, but that was part of one of the.
There's nothing on your medical reports to suggest that.
No, there's nothing. It's nothing on there to say that I've ever had any brain damage, but there is obviously evidence on there that I boxed, because you have to have a medical, and that goes on your medical file. Mm. So it's on there that I boxed for 20 odd years. But yeah, so they're asking for a brain scan for that reason, and then come back to the cardiology part of it. Is that when I had the surgery due to that heart attack, I had some stents fitted. After that, having the surgery, I ended up having some more tests done, obviously, because I wasn't quite right after the surgery. Whenever I tried to do some cardio, I would get that light chest pain in the middle again. So anyway, they done another angiogram and done another surgery and all the rest of it. And then I had several tests done afterwards, and all the tests come back perfect. They done an ECG, and the guy who was doing the ECG, he was confused. He goes, "You sure you've had an heart attack?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, it's not showing on the ECG." He goes, "We should see that you've had an heart attack on the ECG." He goes, "How do you know you've had an heart attack?" So I said, "Well, I've had the surgery. I've had surgery." So that was that situation. And then stress test that the TFL asked him for, I had one done 2 years ago, just for a follow-up appointment so that Bart's Hospital could discharge me after having, obviously, the heart attack. So because we had the lockdown and all the rest of it, that's the reason why it took so long to get the stress test done, but I only had it done a couple of years ago. But the stress tests come back as my heart muscle is 20 years younger than my age. So it hasn't affected the heart at all. So in fact, I've got an healthy heart. Yes, I had an heart attack. Yes, I've got some stents fitted, but I've got a healthy heart. I haven't got no heart damage. So why are you making such a fuss? TFL require a test every 3 years. So in fact, that test should be good enough. Then they've gone down the route of questioning my spine as well, on one of them letters that I sent you regarding the medical that they were asking for. They want me to have a full medical on my spine, which makes no sense either, because 2 months ago, I had a CT scan done at Stanmore Hospital by the surgeon who done the 2 surgeries on my back, and he's saying there's no signal change in the spinal cord. So I have got spinal cord damage due to the surgery, due to the accident, but obviously the surgery was done after the accident, and then I did get some more damage during the surgery, because obviously all my neck was crushed. But what they're saying is that the scan that I had done 2 months ago on my spine shows no more signal change. So there's no change of my spinal injury.
But this injury, this was from a car crash?
Actually doing the knowledge, yeah. So I was out in a smart car, coming back from London. I just got onto the A13, and then the traffic lights, it was all coming to a slowdown at the traffic lights on the A13. So I slowed down and I pulled up at the traffic lights, and Reggie was behind me. Reggie's turned off and gone to another lane, and the lorry's hit me up the arse.
Who's Reggie?
Me boy, he's doing the knowledge now. So yeah, so that was that. So I was. To be fair, I was lucky that he turned off, because it would have been him that got hit up the arse. So I'm the one who got hit by the lorry, because actually he went into the next lane and the lorries hit me up the arse. What happened was that the lorry driver said that he was looking down texting. So he admitted that straight away when it happened, when the police was called. I was took to Whitechapel Hospital. I was there for 5 days. I think it was like on a Monday I got took there, I think. And on the Friday, they still haven't operated on me. I was in like a back brace and a neck brace and a bloody thing round my head and all sorts of things going on. And I said to the nurse on the ward, I said, like, what's going on? She goes, there's been a meeting regarding your surgery and none of them want to take the surgery on. So I said, well, what am I going to do then? She goes, we don't know. We've got to have another meeting. So I said, sod this. I phoned my boy up and he come and picked me up. Got in the back of the car with all these braces on, and he took me to Stanmore Hospital. I had it done privately, and that was it. Yeah. So, but even though I had it done at Stanmore Hospital, he did say to me, the chances are you're going to be paralysed from the neck down after the surgery. He goes, because you got 3 vertebrae that are totally crushed the spinal cord, and he goes, even if we don't make a mistake removing all that, so much blood will rush to that area as soon as we start moving all that. The pressure of the blood will cripple you. So what other options have I got? He goes, well, you can't live the way you are like this. He goes, you're just going to wake up one day, you're going to be paralysed anyway. He goes, 3 of the vertebrae are totally gone. So that was it. He took a chance with the surgery, and I spent a year in hospital.
So, Phil, this is a long old journey and a long old story to get to the main crux of the issue, is that you've actually passed the knowledge now.
I passed the knowledge now.
And you're 5 months waiting for a badge.
Because of all the history, which we just obviously...
So,
but it's true to say you have got an extensive medical history there.
Yes.
And you've probably got more, haven't there?
No, there's nothing else.
That's it?
Yeah, I don't go to the doctor for anything else apart from, obviously, if I...
He's got more than Michael Jackson, hasn't he?
If I have a surgery. That's the only reason why I go to the doctors. I don't take no medication. So
you've got no medications
There's
now?
one medication on my file, which is a blood pressure medication, because when I had this surgery...
So statins?
No, it's a blood pressure medication to lower blood pressure, even though I haven't got high blood pressure. But when I had the surgery done, the blood pressure was going up and down for no reason. It was like out of control blood pressure. So what they done is they give me a blood pressure tablet, and what they advised was check your blood pressure in the morning. If it's fine, don't take the tablet, and if it's up, then take the tablet. But I've been prescribed this medication for the last 5 years and never taken it. So I have no reason to take it, even though it's on my medical file as actually being prescribed the medication. I've never ever actually took it.
Well, Dave, if he was a dog, they'd have him put to sleep years ago, wouldn't he?
Well, you've also got to say, do you blame TfL for them for taking so long and being careful with such an extensive medical history? Do you?
I don't know.
In a sense, because obviously they're supposed to be medical, aren't they? My file has actually gone to occupational health. Occupational health should have read the file and read all the surgeon's outcome of the surgeries. If they read that, they would know that I don't need no more testing.
Yeah, so, I'm not someone singing their praises or anything by any shakes of the imagination. I know they can really drag their heels, but there is an extensive medical history there, isn't there?
There is, but isn't it about who you are now?
Of course it is, yeah. And they're a dinosaur, TfL. They're so slow. They're going to be so slow moving on that.
But it wasn't this hard years ago.
But if you present them with something that's anywhere near where they're going to pass the buck, aren't they? They're going to go, oh, look at that. You answer that, and then you answer that, and they're going to push it up to someone else, aren't they? Yeah. They won't have the courage to be able to say everything's been passed, everything's there. They will want someone, and getting it to that person to see it. And that's where it's gone off. It's gone off somewhere, isn't it, for someone else to sign that.
But the thing that's upset me the most out of all of it was bringing up about me boy 30 years ago. That doesn't affect my driving.
That's psychology. That's obviously there.
But I've got no history of mental health. I've got no history of severe depression. Yeah, I went through a stage when my boy died that I was down. But obviously anyone would be.
Yeah.
You know, without a doubt, anyone's going to be. But now they're penalising me for that. So when you see all these adverts about, you know, on social media about if you're down, you know, if you're depressed, go to your GP, get help. I wouldn't advise that at all. Wouldn't advise it at all, because this has come back to haunt me 30 years later.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't advise that at all. I would never ever, if I was depressed, I would never ever go to the GP. Without a doubt, I would not go.
Something I agree with you on.
Yeah, so that is really spoke about now. No, it's not just that. Anyone who has to have a medical for their job, you got to pick and choose now what you tell your GP.
Yes,
Yeah.
And that's including someone who likes a couple of beers.
Yes,
but that's not, this is not even TfL was picked up on this, because when I got hit up the arse for that crash, so when the lorry driver hit me up the arse, even the insurance company looked at my medical file before deciding my payout of what I was going to get. They looked at my medical file and even questioned, was I depressed when I was driving?
Even though you were stationary.
I was stationary, got hit up the arse. They even questioned it, and I actually even got paid out less money because I wasn't claiming disability. That's the truth. That's a fact. The solicitor said to me that because I wasn't claiming disability, I couldn't have been disabled due to the injuries that I suffered. So basically, that lowered the
threshold.
That lowered of what I was going to get, the compensation order. But
it's strange, yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
It worked out about 30,000 lower than what I would have get. I lost about £30,000 because I didn't claim disability.
What, you got 4.2 million, didn't you?
Well, everyone thinks I'm really wealthy, but I'm not as wealthy as people think.
I don't know, that shirt and jumper.
You can buy a new cab, can't you? Put it on the drive.
Yep.
Can't drive it, but you...
No, you can't drive it.
Well, I'm planning on buying a cab to start with, that was the idea. I will be buying one, but I will rent one for a while.
I just think things have seemed very, very different in this modern era of the driving a taxi. I stopped once to help a taxi driver who had a flat tyre. And he was stuck on Cullen Circus on the roundabout with a flat tyre. He hadn't pulled over to the side or anything. He's in there actually cuffed up against the roundabout itself. And he's sitting there doing nothing. So I pulled up behind him and said, "Are you all right?" He said, "Yeah, I've got a flat, but I can't get out. I can't get out of the cab." He had one of the forklift knobs on the steering wheel to help with the steering. He said, "No, I've got really bad legs and back. I'm disabled, basically." But, okay then. But I'll change the tyre for you. So I got out and I changed the tyre for him. And he thanked me. He was really pleasant about it. And I never forget, he said something about, "You deserve a sheriff's badge, you do." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, a bit of sheriff or whatever." And he drove off. So his disability was extreme.
Well, when I see Georgie Vice, he did say to me, when I told him about my back problem, he asked me what happened. So I said, I had an accident. I was a little bit of metal in the bottom of my back at that time. So he goes, that's not a problem. He goes, I've got cab drivers who haven't got arms and legs. So he goes, I've got ex-soldiers driving cabs who's got, artificial arms and legs. So that your back problem should never have been an issue.
No, that's what I don't understand.
So I don't know why I got refused. So it looks like someone obviously in their occupational health side of things are not obviously qualified enough to read these files, because I got refused for no reason. And it got turned over within a couple of days. So, it wasn't a big issue. Obviously, it would have took months.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, I'm having these problems now, even though all the tests that come back, there's nothing wrong with me whatsoever regarding me to drive.
So your view is this, that someone is there actually not doing their job properly in terms of seeing the medical records come in and are picking up on stuff that really and truly they
believe that, because when I had a medical, I had to have a medical due to my injuries regarding the solicitors who dealt with my claim. So the other side sent me for a medical down Holborn somewhere, so I had to have a medical. So when I went in there, started the medical, told them what was wrong with me and all the rest. Well, actually, they started doing the physical test first to see whether, how bad my injuries was. And then she goes, "Well, what's happened to you?" So I said, "Well, I got hit from behind," and I said, "I've got a lot of metal in my head." So she goes, "I'm not qualified to do this." So at that stage, someone read my file and misread it there, because I was attending a medical by the insurance company, and they've sent me to the wrong people. She goes, "I'm only a physiotherapist." She goes, "You need a doctor." She goes, "Because your medical history is so complex, you need a doctor." And I believe that's the same with TfL. They need a professional doctor there.
Yeah.
to advise them on my medical history.
I kind of got the impression that when you had that medical, the doctor fills in the forms and kind of he's actually saying you're fit and proper.
Well, actually, I spoke to my MP regarding this now because I've had enough of it with TfL. I've had enough with TfL, to be fair. So I spoke to the MP about it, and the MP is on the case. He's actually spoke to my GP, advised the GP of what to give them. If they don't accept it, then he's going to deal with it direct himself. Mm-hmm. But the situation is that, as the MP already laid out, and as I already knew this anyway, occupational health cannot overrule a doctor, a GP, and he can't definitely overrule a surgeon. Mm-hmm. But TfL's occupational health think they can overrule everyone.
Yeah.
I think TfL think they can as well. They overrule the law with points and all that, don't they? So they do think they're above the law.
But this is the problem, and we're going to end up in court by the looks of it. I want some compensation off of TfL now for the way I've been treated.
Well, you are 5 months into not working, and you could argue that you're a hard worker. So you're looking for a minimum of like £5,000 lost earnings to £10,000 lost earnings in the 5 months that you would have worked.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking for something from TfL.
Yeah, but you are a scrounger.
To be honest, Dean, look, as I said when I done the knowledge, we'll put it this way: if I get a claim out of TfL for not having, I'll give it to charity.
Yeah, sorry, my numbers as well was based on weeks, so I need to re-say that. So you haven't been out in the cab for 5 months. You are looking for like $4,000 minimum to sort of, let's say $8,000 maximum for a month money that if you'd worked non-stop for. They can't say whether you was going to be a non-stop worker or not. So you are looking, let's just do it on £1,000 a week, so £4,000 a month.
Yeah.
You're looking at £20,000 just on lost earnings for the 5 months that you haven't been out to work.
Yeah, I'd give that a great.
But wouldn't they say that there would be a couple of months it would take anyway? So it'd knock you back a couple of months, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they'll argue that. Then you could argue the fact, but I would have worked 24 hours a day, so I want to do £2,000 a week. Basically, there's definitely a problem here with the fact that they haven't allowed you to come out of work. This
ain't really about compensation. This is about TfL getting their act together, because this can't keep happening. I don't actually. It's took me 8 years to do the knowledge. I don't know anything about the knowledge. I'm going to be out there with a sat nav trying to struggle to get around London, because I don't remember nothing. I don't remember any of it. Don't remember none of it. It's pointless me doing it now. I don't know how I'm actually.
No, it'll be fine. It'll come back to you. You start working. You can use the sat nav if you want to a bit. You can use the Waze maps and whatever, and just get on with the job. But it'll all come back to you. Everybody's when they go.
But with all the medical evidence I've supplied to them, proving that I've had all these tests done, and they're all within the 3-year range anyway. Yeah. The medical for the back was at 2 months ago, and the heart test for the heart was done 2 years ago. So they could have given me the badge, and then if they wanted further even more stuff, I could have had it done afterwards. So I could have been working while that was being done, which is my argument.
Yeah. What's the current situation? How are we going to get your badge?
The current situation is now all the stuff's with TfL. As far as the doctor's concerned, they shouldn't overrule anything because everything's up to date. If they do overrule it, then the MP is going to deal with it direct himself.
Yeah.
And that's the situation at the moment.
You're not going to be out before Christmas?
Definitely not. I obviously don't want to be out in January.
I think, the first people it goes to in TfL, in the medical, they're not doctors or anything, are they?
This is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. They're not. They're not. So what it is that when you get someone like you who's got an extensive medical history, it's above their pay grade, if you like, isn't it? It'd be above mine. I wouldn't be able to read the words on it.
No.
But they could probably, and this is what they do, they push it on, and they push it on to someone else or to a specialist, and it may have had to go to several specialists, your one, mightn't it?
Well, what we've got to remember is we've got 50, I think in the total of the pack that I sent back, my medical history regarding all my surgeries and stuff, we've got 56 pages for someone to read through, and it is all medical jargon. The average person ain't going to be able to read it.
So surely it should be this then. It goes to the GP or the doctor, and the doctor has to just clarify, is this person medically fit enough to drive a cab or a bus or whatever in the public service? The doctor is the person who has to say, I meet these guidelines, this person meets the guidelines.
That's exactly what she's done. She's given her opinion, and she's saying that I'm
and then TfL are overriding that based on the fact that they think
we're waiting for a reply back from them now. So, yeah, they overrid it the first time. The first medical I sent back, they're saying they want more information. We've sent them the more information, and now we're waiting for them to come back again. But whether they come back and say I need anything else or anything more, we will see. But I'm super fit. I'm guaranteed I'm going to pass any medical that they want to send me. And
I don't know if I said this on a podcast before, but if you have a blood pressure that the lower number is 100, you lose your license. You can't get your license until that lower number is lower than 100.
The lower number is the main one out of the two, because
Yeah.
the lower one is the heart at rest. So you're going to be at rest when you're driving.
Right. So you can't drive a cab if the lower number is 100 and above.
No,
That's
it.
it.
So the lower number on my one's normally around 64 to 70. Sometimes goes up to 80. Depends, but it's never nowhere near 100. That's for sure.
No, but I'm just pointing out the facts of this is one of the criteria that you step over these certain lines, and then
you can understand that though, because obviously blood pressure is very important, and at the end of the day, someone could be driving along and have a stroke while they're driving. So high blood pressure is one of the main things of a stroke or an heart attack. So you can understand why they want the blood pressure to be normal. Is
it across the board? Because what's HEV? Is there a blood test?
Oh, not many, supersedes your cab on. 44 tonne, I should think so.
Yeah, you don't want to be having a heart attack with that.
For Britain, we got quite a high blood pressure compared to other countries in the world anyway, because I think ours like 140 over 90, so that is quite high.
Wow, yeah. My dad had an heart attack driving along Lower Thames Street and managed to pull the lorry into the forecourt of the fire station as he's going along.
No, got a ticket. From TfL.
No, TfL said you can't set that on the left. No, and it was really lucky. The fire brigade came out, gave him resuscitation, got him to hospital, and pretty much saved his life, pretty much. So, yeah, but he managed to hold his lorry together to get it onto the forecourt whilst he was having a heart attack, which was lucky in many senses. But yeah, if you're driving a lorry and something goes wrong, if you're driving a bus and something goes wrong, it's a little bit more serious than driving a taxi.
I keep my HGV up to date, which I probably won't do now as I get older. Yeah. But as I have done, I don't need to do the medical for a cab. It supersedes the cab.
All right.
So you can just say, I've already done the HGV of keeping it up to date.
You know that for a fact.
I've done it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I've done it. You supply it in.
Yeah,
it'll be the same.
I was going to do.
You don't need to. There's no point. Say like if they both come up within a month of each other. Yep. What's the point in doing two medicals?
Your medical for the driving a lorry is more serious.
Would be. Would you want someone with 44-tonne Arctic going down through some high street?
No, but is there a blood pressure requirement level?
God, yes. It'd be the same and more of what you do in the cab.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the only one, obviously, if you're driving a car, it doesn't matter what blood pressure you got, does it?
No. As long as
it probably does. By law, there probably is a blood pressure for that as well. You know, there probably is a limit, but not what I know of. But we should all be walking around 140 over 90 at the max anyway, because obviously it's going to do some serious damage to your organs otherwise. And we are at severe risk of obviously heart attack or stroke.
Yeah. Well, not severe. I think that's heightened. Isn't it? 140 over 100 is the heightened area.
Well, that's the reason why. That's the reason why when you exercise to a higher standard, you can end up having a heart attack.
Yeah.
During exercising.
But that was the other thing. I mean, you're obviously extremely fit with all the things that you've done in the past. You're completely unfit now, I can see. But in the past, in your heyday, you sent me the pictures that.
Actually, I'm a lot smaller now. I'm about 3-4 stone lighter than what I was. I think when I had the crash, I was quite muscular. When I was 15.5 stone, I'm 12 stone now. But it's a different sort of exercise. I'm not doing the bodybuilding now. I'm doing more cardio. So, but the only reason why I switched to the cardio is because I knew all these tests was going to come up.
Yeah, but that's the other interesting thing about Phil that I'm shocked at. First of all, you're not just a vegetarian; you're a vegan, aren't you?
Was a vegan, but I've actually changed it recently.
Gone back to what? Vegetarian?
So I've never ever ate red meat, which I've mentioned before.
Yes.
I think I was about 6 or 7 when I stopped eating red meat. So, I've never ate a sausage or beef burger or nothing like that. So, yeah. Then as I got older, I was just on fish diet. I was eating just fish. And then I introduced chicken, and then I started getting some problems. So then I went vegan. And I was vegan for quite some time, some years, but just recently, so about a year ago, started getting like swelling of the legs. So I thought when I looked, my legs was like puffy. So I thought this is two things. I've either got that's the heart problem, kidney problem, or something else is wrong. So I had some tests done at a doctor's, heart fine, kidneys fine. So then I was like, I've got to look further into it. So I've done some more research into it, and it worked out that it's the protein from meat that was causing me to have lack of meat, protein, causing me to have these swelling legs.
All right, so you didn't have enough protein, but you wasn't substituting protein in another way.
No, all I was doing was eating vegetable protein, so like beans and stuff, different beans and all that sort of stuff.
And it's not considered enough.
It's the different sort of protein. When that vegetarian protein goes into your body breaks it down a different way. It's separated different to how meat is.
So you're on the meat now?
I'm actually carnivore diet.
I was just want to say something
else. It's a total different thing altogether.
If there's one thing I do know about yourself is that you do seem to have an obsessive nature.
Yeah. And I've only just started eating meat about 4 months ago.
And what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Like you say, I have got some strange habits. So
no, everything you've said is basically very much similar to someone with OCD. You've got you're taking things obsessively. To just go from vegan to carnivore diet, it's got to be very few people ever in history.
But I've always used the way I look at food is I look at food a different way to everyone else. People just eat what they like. I don't eat what I like.
You eat what you think is going to be good for you.
No, so every 3 or 4 months I have a full blood test, and I look at all the readings on the blood test, and then I will change my diet to suit the blood test.
Okay, again, obsessive behaviour of having a blood test every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, but it keeps you out of the doctor's surgery. You know, I ain't never ill apart from having all these injuries. I'm never ill.
Yeah,
you know, I don't get ill, so it's a good way to keep all your levels right.
Yeah.
To keep out of the doctor's surgery. I don't never want to take tablets for nothing. Yeah. So that is my goal.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're all trying to do that, but at the same time, tablets can save your life. I mean,
they can, obviously, if you've got the right tablets for the right thing, but if you know what it's like, you go to the tablets for one tablet and you get something for, I don't know, for an headache, then you need to take something for a backache, then you need to take something for this,
and then you want it for the rest of your life.
Then in the end, you're on a bag of tablets.
Yeah.
So the idea is obviously to keep your cholesterol and your heart rate and everything else down. And that is all controlled by food.
It does make a difference. Have you tried the carnivore diet, David?
No. Won't be anything.
Yeah. Did you just destroy my packet of hobnobs?
You had more than me.
Oh, okay. We have an argument now
as the most free.
Chocolate hobnobs.
See, I don't buy nothing like that indoors. I will eat it.
Yeah, I'll eat
it. If I go around someone's house, I will eat that stuff.
You want one of these hobnobs?
I don't want no. Sure. I'm keeping the belly up. I've got a running test coming up.
No, dear. I did the carnivore diet for an afternoon. Literally. I eat meat anyway.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, I bought some food specifically. I did it because of Ollie. I thought I'd give that a try. I can't do that. I can't just eat the meat. I had this massive steak. It was lovely. And then I thought, I can't face another steak tomorrow. I'll have to have something else, some vegetables and stuff. And
that's why you're supposed to have variety, aren't you?
Yeah, I just couldn't get to do it.
I'm totally different. See, what I've noticed from doing the carnivore diet, beef lowers me blood pressure. And it will take it really low as well.
Oh, right, that's interesting to know.
Yeah, so that I didn't know until actually I was testing as I was going along to see what does whatever. So it worked out that 30 grams or 25 grams, a small piece, it's the size of a burger or whatever, that would lower my blood pressure and would keep it low all the way throughout the day.
Well, what beef are we talking about, a steak or a mince?
It didn't matter, as long as it was beef.
And is it neat or with spices or...
No, I just have it as it is. And I don't put salt on it like everyone else does. And all the
nothing else on it. Then,
I just put black pepper on it, and that's it. That's all I'll have on it.
And how much grams of meat in the meal?
About 25, 30 grams lowers your blood pressure, and that will lower it for the whole day. For me, that's what I worked out.
That's tiny.
When you say lower, what do you mean by how much?
Well, my blood pressure is normally about 120. Say, for instance, I think my blood pressure this morning was 127/74. I didn't have beef this morning, but if I would have had beef, my blood pressure is about 104/60, something like that. It is as low as me daughter.
So anyone going for their medical with high blood pressure?
I mean, I don't know if it works for everyone, but I did read up about it, and it did say that beef does lower blood pressure.
But you're eating a tiny amount.
It is a tiny amount, but that's all you need to lower the blood pressure.
So what, you're eating that, and then that's your meal, you're done?
No, I'll have. So there is another method. So you got to eat food to suit the body, to whatever you're going through. So if you eat avocados and eggs, I've keep telling people who's all stressed out.
They're good.
That is well known for. If it's been tests done on avocados and eggs.
Well, I had avocado and eggs for breakfast just now.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't get depressed then because
I'm really depressed now.
Makes your hair fall out, but you won't get depressed.
Apparently, there's been brain scans done on avocados and eggs during.
I didn't know avocados and eggs had brains.
No, yeah, so they done a brain scan.
They done a brain scan on an avocado.
They done some brain scans on avocados and eggs and realised it releases the same chemical as taking an antidepressant. So, yeah, you can look it all up. Yeah, so if you're depressed or you're down, avocados and eggs.
Well, I just like the taste of avocado and eggs is bloody delicious. I really like it.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'll have a piece of beef I'll have avocado and I'll have some eggs.
But that's not carnivore diet, is it?
No, not as such, but you know, I'm just eating.
It's very so. Eggs are protein, meat is protein. The avocado is
fat, healthy fat.
Yeah. Okay. So there's no carbohydrates. Are you zero carbohydrates?
Zero carb. I don't eat no carbohydrates whatsoever.
But if you're going to exercise, there is the argument that you basically carbohydrates are the fuel.
No, yeah, but then the fat from the avocado or cheese.
Is doing what? Is replacing the carbohydrates?
Is the fat. So the fat is being replaced as energy.
Okay, I'll have to look into that to see if you're talking rubbish or not.
I'm not talking
sure.
rubbish. Look up Eddie. Can't think of his name now.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, he will tell you all about this.
He swears a bit.
Eddie the Eagle.
Man. Eddie, a black guy. He used to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh no, he's a incredibly fit guy.
Yes.
But I'm watching other programs where they're really dissing him quite badly. They're just saying that he's actually a bit unique. He's running 4 marathons a week and whatever.
No, you're talking about the SAS guy.
This one's a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah,
he was like a Mr. Universe sort of.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he was like Mr. Universe.
Okay. He's a different guy. Okay, Eddie the Eagle.
I think he eats about 400 eggs a day.
Yeah, he eats a lot of eggs.
That's a vast exaggeration.
I think he eats about 20, doesn't he? I think he has about 20 in one go. He eats a lot.
Boiled or what? Fried?
Well, whatever you're having.
Pure?
No, they have to be cooked. But yeah, that is, and obviously everybody's got fat on them. So if you're on the carnivore diet, you're going to strain it, and you're exercising, you're going to lose the fat.
So I mean, a lot of people do eat badly, but I know for sure, for me and Dave and yourself, that we are really conscious. And Ollie, when he came in, we're all very, very conscious of the things we eat and the importance of what we eat and how it affects us in the long term. But looking at many people in this day and age, and their diets, the intake of sugars and stuff like that is huge against
That's what Eddie talks about, doesn't he?
Well, that's what I've always kept out sugar anyway. But sugar,
and you had an obdob.
Yeah, just try to keep out the sugar and the carbohydrates at the end of the day.
Yeah, cutting out sugars does seem to be. My diet is fasting from morning till evening, and I exercise and do all my stuff, and I find that easy. I find that not having breakfast and skipping all that is very, very easy to do. So that just kind of keeps your weight low. But then when I eat, I'm allowed to eat whatever I want in the evening, and I usually like a sweet afterwards, something sweet, like a pastry or something. Yeah,
my mum used to eat once a day, and she never ever went to the GP. The only time when she ended up getting ill with cancer, but that was asbestosis. So it wasn't even a cancer caused by any food or whatever. It was
workplace.
It was just.
When did she work with my dad worked with asbestosis.
It must have been when she was younger. I don't know, but obviously she was lucky to get it when she was. Well, say lucky. She was lucky to get it at 84 rather than earlier on in life.
Yeah. My dad's lived in fear his whole life. When Steve McQueen died of asbestosis, which I can't remember the year that was. All the news is starting to come out. It was in the 80s, wasn't it, when he started to find out about asbestos. So my dad's finding out about it, and then he realises that in the 60s, they used to send you into basements of buildings to just rip out the asbestos without any equipment at all.
Yeah, I've cleaned loads of it out. I'm a roofer, so I've done loads of asbestos.
Oh, you should have it as well then.
Should have, yeah. You should have, but whether
there's loads of it everywhere still, isn't there? You look across any garden, all garages and garden sheds have got it still, haven't they?
I did see some videos of kids in Africa when they was dealing with the pure white, like massive piles of cocaine, asbestos, and they're dealing with it in its raw form.
Yeah, that's bad.
That was terrible.
Well, the problem is that when you actually, if young kids go into the building trade and there's asbestos in a house, like you say, you go into a house to refurbish, there's asbestos. To get rid of it, it's so expensive. So what they do is they get one of the labourers to smash it up into crumbs, and that's the most dangerous part of the asbestos. But that's how we get rid of it.
Yeah. Don't smash it up. You can deal with it and take it out, but they can't take it out.
But you can't, because it's thousands of pounds to get rid of it. It is so expensive to get rid of it. So because it's so expensive, everyone's life's put at risk because we're all breaking it up.
Is it still?
It's still the same. Is it
still available? It's still in buildings at the moment?
Yeah, there's loads of it.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Garages mainly. Garage roofs. All the
from
corrugated.
The 1960s and 70s.
Yeah, like all the corrugated roofs. That some of them.
Did they make it of that because it wouldn't burn?
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's still in stuff now. You see, like racing car drivers' suits and all that. They made they got asbestos in them.
Well, Steve McQueen's got it from being in World War II on a gunner on a ship, wearing the
blanket.
Yeah, wearing a mask.
Welders used to have that. When I left school, I was a boilermaker welder. I used to have asbestos blankets. Stop you from burning.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Fireproof, isn't it?
Perils of life.
So you're seeing a lot of breeze blocks and stuff. So when you're drilling an old building, really, no one does it, but you should wear a mask because obviously you might be drilling into asbestos.
Now you tell me, I did that yesterday.
Can you say as well, like we're talking about the examiner, who remains nameless, so I don't know who it is.
I ain't gonna say.
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But do you think it could have been just a mistake that they didn't know the
that was
situation?
what I was thinking.
It was like completely overlooked. And it was who's going to do that? Come on, deliberately.
But I was getting on several appearances, not one.
And different examiners.
Yeah,
it's complete. I think it's they didn't know. Surely, I think you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. They didn't know that. So no one's going to do that deliberate. Surely. I mean, you'd have to be a heartless character to win shit, and I don't think they are. They only cab
and not only several of them. You're saying, David, several of them are heartless characters. We're basically calling you a liar now, Phil.
No, I think it's gonna. I think he was gonna.
I've been questioned about it. I mean, when you've put other podcasts up, there has been people that when I've mentioned about examiners being verbally abusing me, there's been people that's questioned other students that's questioned it. Well, they haven't done that to me. Well, maybe they haven't, but I had a bad experience with them. But I went and had a meeting with Mr. Whitehead. In the end, I ended up getting through. Do I blame him for any of that? It shouldn't have happened, but it happened, and it's carry on.
It shouldn't have happened. It definitely shouldn't have happened. I mean, if anything, it's incompetence by them, or if they knew and didn't, no one looked it up.
But I did have some good examiners on, but I don't think it's appearances and all this stuff about Mr. Gunnings and. You just don't pass, he rips you out. I had a good experience with Mr. Gunning, to be fair. I think if it wasn't for Mr. Gunning, I'd probably still be on the knowledge now.
I think Mr. Gunning is a great examiner. I mean, we need someone who's difficult, you need someone who's technical, you need someone who's looking to pull the standard up. That's absolutely perfect. You just don't need too many of them because that's not...
Yeah, then it's going to be too hard, isn't it? That's the problem.
There's always one.
But I found Mr. Gunning's, really nice man. But
can I just point out what David's touching upon here, which is the psychological idea that a lot of students feel that if they complain, they'll be held back, right? So they complain and they get their score overturned. They've now psychologically got this idea in their head that they're going to get picked on or victimised. And they go in there with that and they come out of every appearance afterwards with D's thinking they're being victimised.
No, I think, to be fair, the first meeting I had, I think we had Dritton here and... Dean was here, there was a couple of others, and all of them saying to me, don't make a complaint. I said, I'm going to make a complaint because I can't carry on as we are. So I need to let TFL know what's going on. So when I made the complaint and I had that meeting with Channels and Mr. Whitehead, the story was straight after that.
No, I think it's good to make complaints. If you have a problem, you can get it resolved.
Obviously, then it's never going to be fixed otherwise, is it? The problem's just going to get worse. So it's make the complaint, get it out there, and... I improved after that. Things did get better.
Can I add something else to the mix, though, Phil?
Yeah, go on.
You wasn't the greatest at the knowledge.
No, I was fucking useless. Like one of the examiners said. That was the problem. This is the problem what started with TML because I kept answering them back. So I've gone into the room. I ain't going to say, another examiner, a different one. He's gone, Mr. Leach, you're fucking useless. I said, yeah, I know, sir. And he goes, why you carry on doing the knowledge? I said, well, you've got the badge. One day I'm going to get it. And he goes, you're never going to get the fucking badge, Mr. Leach. I said, okay, then I won't get it. But I said, you're going to spend the rest of your life working here and I'm going to be in front of you several times because I ain't giving up.
Well, you nearly did. You nearly did, a few times.
I nearly did, but it wasn't for him, though. It wasn't for him. But that was one examiner. He goes, you're fucking useless. And I said, yeah, I'm not as good as you, sir. And he goes... he said something on, and I said, well, if I wasn't any good, sir, I'd be a cab driver, I wouldn't be here, would I? I said, that was it. I just kept every time they slagged me up, I had an answer back. So I think that was the
that might have made them warm to you a little bit. I mean,
I don't know, but I don't know.
There's always one, and it's usually you.
Did they ever ask you the heart hospital to the neurosurgery?
Yeah.
Nah, they didn't. What is it? Neuro Hospital, wasn't it? Yeah, I was asked that on Queen Square.
Not from Bjork Hall, was it, or something?
No, see, I had my surgery done at Stanmore, so. But they did ask me the one on Queen Square. the neuro hospital on Queen Square.
Did they know you was boxing?
They would have done through my.
Did you get any boxing? Did you get the punch bowl to Henry Cooper pub or something like that?
No, basically, TFL would have known our box because obviously my medical, it's all on the medical file.
I'm not sure exactly, and I don't have to ask what they're seeing in front of them anymore. It used to be that the examiner sees pretty much everything of your history, and criminal record and such, but they don't see that anymore.
Well, that's another story about my criminal record. Jesus, that's been a nightmare. That's been a nightmare as well. It is. The whole lot of it is a nightmare because my brother's got the same initials as me. Yeah, so I'm Philip Joseph Leach. My brother's Peter Joseph Leach. Yeah.
Yeah.
On my DBS that the TFL's got, I've got 3 criminal offences on there in my brother's name. I can't get them off.
But it's got Peter next to it.
Peter Leach.
This ain't you doing the old chestnut where if you get stopped,
you're in the wrong name.
No,
your brother's name.
Say me.
I questioned this with one of my mates, because he's a police officer. I questioned it, and he said he's got exactly the same problem. Even though he's a copper, he's got his brother's criminal record on his record. He goes, "There's a problem. There's a problem with the system." And when I actually got the DBS, I had to go to Scotland Yard when I first ever started knowledge because my brother's criminal record was on my DBS. So I got sent to Scotland Yard, went to Scotland Yard. They took most of them off, but 3 of them's left on there. And what they said was they can't prove who this was because this was the paper form of the way they used to hold medical records on the paper form. And when when all the paperwork got destroyed, they put everything onto computer system. Yeah. And now they can't tell who that was because they've lost the paperwork. It's all destroyed. So now I've got 3 criminal offences on there. Don't belong to me, belong to my brother, but they're on my DBS. So,
not good. Well, the moral of the story is, if you're a parent,
don't
name your kids.
I said to my daughter,
separate.
Do not name the kids
same initials.
I see, because one goes down the wrong route. They're all.
Well, they gave you both the middle name as well.
So you say that, but 20 years ago, I got pulled up on Victoria Embankment, and a copper said to me, "You're on a ban," and I had someone in the back of a long wheelbase 7 Series, and I said, "No, I'm not." He went, "Yeah, you are." He said my name and everything. And he went back and he went, "Oh, I got my driving licence out." And he came back. He went, "It's a different address." He said, it was it was the same name but different person.
Yeah,
and they thought that because of the number plate, even though the number plate was in my address, that name came up and it associated with other people with the same David Frampton.
Yep.
And it came up someone else with that name was on a ban.
That is how messed up the system is. It is that messed up.
Oh, wrap it up, guys.
But as for the DBS, that is still the same situation. If you've got someone in your family with the same name, same initials, and the chances are that criminal record is going to go on both of you.
I want to see you driving a cab.
Well, you said to me that you're not going to retire until I get out there.
That's absolutely true.
It looks like you're never going to retire then.
The problem is, I think it's going to take you about 5-6 weeks before you get a driving ban and you lose your licence. But I want to see you driving a cab. I might even be your first fare. I'll be your first paying customer, so you can donate it to Great Ormond Street or something like that. But I'm only going to
where are you going to take me? To Manchester or somewhere?
Short fare. I think we'll go from here to Aldgate.
Don't ask too far, because I won't know where it is.
Phil, thank you for coming in and telling your story. We really hope, me and Dave, that you resolve it all.
Yeah,
thanks, Dave.
You know, you don't exactly deserve it, but you have got a colourful history. You have got a colourful past. You came in here on crutches. You was
went out in a wheelchair.
Yeah, you was huffing and puffing. You could barely breathe, and you was holding your chest with a bit of pain as you came in. No, thanks, Phil. No, we hope you get it all resolved.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Good luck.